This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana makes car selling fast and easy from start to finish. Enter your license plate or VIN and get a real offer in seconds, down to the penny. If you accept, Carvana will come pick up your car from your driveway. Or you can drop it off at one of our car vending machines. Either way, you get paid instantly. It's fast, transparent, and 100% online. Car selling that saves your time. That's Carvana.
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kan du norsk?
If you used Babbel, you would. Babbel's conversation-based techniques teaches you useful words and phrases to get you speaking quickly about the things you actually talk about in the real world, with lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts and voiced by real native speakers. Babbel is like having a private tutor in your pocket. Start speaking with Babbel today. Get up to 55% off your Babbel subscription right now at babbel.com/Spotify, spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Welcome to episode 55 of the High Volume Hiring Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Stephen Rothberg, with College Recruiter, a job search site where we believe that every student and recent grad deserves a great career and that it should be easy and efficient for employers to hire them. I am joined today by my wonderful co-host, Jeanette Leeds. Jeanette, hello.
Hello. I'm Jeanette Leeds. I'm Managing Director EVP at AMS. And for those that don't know AMS, we're a tech-enabled RPO and advisory company, and I focus on our high-volume solution. And we are thrilled today on episode 55 to be here with Leah from JobSync. So, Leah, welcome. So thrilled to have you.
Thank you for having me. I mean, I am also feeling 55, so this is perfect.
55 is like what? The new 20?
The new 25, everybody. It's the new 25. It's fine. It's fine. And the great thing about 25 is no one has any expectations for you yet. So you're great.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
This is going to be a hard episode to be productive with, I think.
Seriously.
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
So Leah, you are the Chief Commercial Officer of JobSync.
I am.
Which is love JobSync. And listen, it's now 2024, which feels like it's in the future, but it's now. It happened. It's happened. And so I think what's interesting when I think about JobSync, it's like, one, maybe you could tell our viewers, like, what exactly is JobSync? And like, it's 2024. Why does that even need to exist? Like, I've been doing recruiting and all this stuff since, it's 24 plus years. Like, why haven't we solved the problem that you guys set out to do? Like,
it's such a good question, right? Because I feel like there's so many things out there in the market that why have we not solved this problem yet? And I think it's a great question. So let me start with the beginning in mind, right? So let's start with what is this problem and why are we still solving it? And then let me talk about what JobSync is doing to actually tackle that.
Perfect.
So the way I want everybody kind of like, close your eyes, have a moment. There's a picture. On one side of the picture are your candidates, the humans you want to hire, the humans who, by the way, want to be hired. Right. Yeah. We're all having the same idea here. Like, I want to get hired for a good job and I want to hire good people for my job. And on the other side of this gulf, let's call it, we have applicant tracking systems. And their job is in their name. They are applicant tracking systems. They are meant to track the applicants. They're not applicant capture systems. Mm-hmm. They're not candidate experience systems. They're not magical. They are very much a workflow tool with a compliance and security posture primarily first, right? And then the workflow second. And so between them, we have this gulf, and it is full of hurdles. It's almost like American Ninja Warrior. Like, the candidate needs to get through.
I love that analogy.
American Ninja Warrior. And like, if you can do it, if you can stick with, if you have the stamina, you might make it to the other side. And so,
and you might get that job. Maybe
you might get it.
I would totally throw in that trowel before it even started. It's like, this is too much effort.
And we're not even, this is like the whole process. Right? I'm not even talking about the interviewing part and all the other things that we make it challenging for kids. I'm just talking about them raising their hand and saying, hey, I think I would be good at this thing.
Oh, yeah,
I want you to hire me.
Getting the job.
Will you call me back?
get to the end just to apply, right?
Yeah. And so in between American Ninja
So good.
Warrior, we have all of a sudden, over the years, we have built lots and lots of solutions to this problem, all of which are trying to help some part of the process or all of the process or some portion of the people in the process. And what do I mean by that? Like some of the solutions in market really do focus on high volume. Some of them focus on professional. Some focus on nurses, right? Lots of things that have come into the middle. But on these two sides, these things are fairly like stalwart systems that exist. And in the middle, because neither of them are particularly good at figuring out how to work with the others, we have layers upon layers of technology. My friend Josh Burson had a great picture this year of the kitchen drawer. This works in the US, by the way, does not work in Europe as a reference, but like the kitchen drawer of solutions that we've all thrown at this problem. And all of them help to a degree, but none of them actually solve what we're trying to do, right? So this is really the problem that exists, is that we've not yet solved the problem. We have improved it. This one gives us, 10% more. That one gives us 30% more. This one squeaks out a little here. And so we have a patchwork quilt trying to help incrementally get us to the solution, but yet we're not there yet. And we won't even get into the macroeconomic problem that we're all facing.
Yeah. That's like too much in the 10 minutes.
So what does JobSync do? So JobSync take a step back and said, okay, why is all of this existing? Why is all this friction here? Well, it's because you have a closed system and a closed system. So how do we actually open up both systems and build pipelines between the two? Well, that makes sense. Except, again, why be easy when you can be hard? The pipelines that have existed previously are one-size-fits-all solutions because it's hard to build a solution for every single set of questions that some recruiter on the side of their desk in upstate Montana has come up with for this particular one job. You can't predict that and have a pre-planned way to manage that over on your job board. And so having something that can dynamically handle whatever it is you need in between is really the big problem. And so that's what JobSync has gone off to do. So we map the ATS job by job dynamically as it comes in to be able to recreate the entire application experience somewhere else. And that somewhere else might be natively on your job board, like an Indeed or a Zip or whomever can support a native application within the job board itself, or on a landing page where there's no login screen and there's no ATS branding everywhere. And we're not asking you to refill in information we've already provided you a minute ago. Like you already know my name. Why do I need to tell you my name again? How do we, not have to recreate that information and make the candidate do the same thing twice, 3 times, 5 times through the process, and then get that into the ATS and not disrupt the recruiter's workflow, right? Because one of the biggest problems that has come out of this market is if you make it easier on the candidate, you make it harder on the recruiter. But if you make it easier on the recruiter, you make it harder on the candidate, right? There's never been this idea of like, no, let's rise all boats, make it easier on both. And so really that's what we've got to do. And so the outcome is important. So for our customers, that means usually an increase of 100 to 200% more applicants, same quality.
Hey, I'm Katie Van Horn.
And I'm Jackie Clayton.
We're your hosts of the Inclusive AF podcast, where we take on DEI, leadership, and HR without all the corporate fluff.
That's right. We've got decades of experience, a lot of opinions, and zero tolerance for performative anything.
Every week, we dig into what it really takes to build inclusive workplaces with honesty, strategy, and a few side eyes.
We'll talk about the tough stuff, power dynamics, privilege, what's broken in the system, and how we can all do better.
And don't worry, it's not all heavy. We bring receipts, laughs, and real talk from people actually doing the work.
Think of it as your weekly dose of truth, tips, and a little tea to help you lead with intention and show up for your people.
So if you're ready to push past the buzzwords and get into the actual work of inclusion,
you're in the right place. So subscribe to the Inclusive AF podcast.
New episodes drop every week.
Catch us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll be here breaking it down one inclusive convo at a time.
That's impressive. And the word applicant is important. applicants. So we're dealing with legally compliant. You maintain your EEO and your OFCCP. You've got your candidate terms and conditions and applicant statements captured. All of those really important legal things are also being taken care of in that moment. So you're allowed to keep your applicant tracking system intact as a compliance and security first system. And that's
Cool.
what we're up to. Sorry, that was a long answer to a short question.
No, awesome. It's great. I mean, I think it really helps to sort of explain, like you said, the problem, and sort of at a relatively high level. Here's the solution that JobSync has created. Let's dive a little bit into the trench, because I can just imagine that some viewers are like, I can't really envision what this looks like. Like, paint a picture for me on the ATS side. Right? No change. Right?
No change.
The recruiter logs in, data's there, they manage everything. There's an integration, but that's a one and done. So from a day-to-day, week-to-week, month, there's nothing change. On the job board side, correct me if I'm wrong, massive change.
Huge change.
Candidate will go to an Indeed, a ZipRecruiter, one of your other partners. They see the posting just like they normally would, except rather than clicking to go to the ATS to apply, they apply kind of on the job board using your tech. Is that how does if I'm a candidate on Indeed, what's the difference between an Indeed job posting where I'm applying through Indeed system versus through the JobSync system, which then sends the data to the ATS? Like, what does it look differently?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a really important distinction here that almost doesn't matter to anyone but the nerds in the room.
Okay.
Which is
I'm going to raise my hand on that one.
Okay. So for the nerds in the back, you're not actually redirecting to our system at all. We're leveraging the existing tech stack of the job board.
Okay.
So for the candidate, they never leave the job board. They stay right on Zip or stay right on Indeed, and using the Indeed apply or the Zip apply or the job case apply or snag apply, we are able to tell by job to the job board what questions to ask, what answer values are acceptable to capture. They go through that entire process, and then they hand back to us a little package of data that says, here's the candidate and all the answers to all the questions. So it's done in a way that's very native to the candidate, right? They don't recognize that they're actually going into another place. Now, there's an important thing that's happening in all of this too. I'm going to derail our conversation for a moment. Candidates have really embraced this idea of lazy apply, not candidates in general, but some lazy apply, these mass apply bots. For now, the good news is these bots tend to be browser based, which makes it really hard to detect from like a job board side, but really easy for us because they can't get through our questions. They're not prepared for them. You can't teach the bot whatever random question upstate Montana came up with and have it ready to answer that question. And so because they're not pinging a server to get the answers today, we are able to deflect a lot of those or all of those bot-based applicants. So we are only getting today the humans that are actually going through the application process, which is exciting for me. I know, right? I know this is a short run. Like I know
it's so cat and mouse.
I know. I'm going to come up with something new tomorrow.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Jeanette, do you want to grab the last question?
Well, I was just going to say, I wanted to push in just a little bit more because we're like almost out of time on this concept of win-win for the candidate and the recruiter, right? Like, because that's, again, it's usually a seesaw, right? It's like one or the other who wins out, but that combination, and we think about like high volume, right? The being able to do this at scale, like that is so critical because it's about reducing friction, and that's where everyone will win, right? Where the then can get to that job and get hired really quickly and whatnot. And so maybe we just talk a little bit about more like about some of those outcomes you've seen with your customers, right? Where they've really, this has made a difference. Cause I think that's like,
so it's actually win-win-win. There's a third one in there, which is, I know, who doesn't love a good third win? For most of our customers, because they are high volume, most of our clients are high volume. If they don't hire enough people, and they're not by the time we're talking to them, if they don't, they either pay excess overtime they didn't want to,
Yep.
Hire contractors or temps, per diems, travel nurses, pick your flavor.
Yep.
Or they miss or have to push revenue targets because they don't have the bodies to get the work done. It's one of those three. It's never something different. And so for our customer base, this means you go from either being close to even a negative or missing revenue targets or excess overtime to actually being back into stasis. So we have a number of customers who've just shown us the operating dashboard of how they are working from a overtime perspective and how if they miss what the overtime costs are going to be and being able to bring that back into the green where they're no longer having to make those payments. This is a big deal. It's a business outcome. This isn't a talent outcome, right? It is.
That's like money.
This is a business outcome.
This is money to the bottom line. Yeah.
You are now a very strategic part of our organization as opposed to an executor do more with less.
Yeah.
And from us, the outcomes, that's the big win on the win-win-win. Now, yes, also candidates can complete the applications faster. It's cleaner. They don't have to create another Workday login. They're very excited about that. Recruiters they do have more volume. So we do see as another outcome, a lot of companies then taking the next step in terms of like interviews, like automated interview scheduling and automated text messaging. We do see that as a next step where they're like, ooh, if you twice my volume, I need to do something different from a processing standpoint for sure. Yeah. But it's really that last outcome that's important. It's the meaningful.
It's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, awesome. Leah, it has, as always, been an awesome privilege to talk with you. I definitely feel smarter every time I do.
Thank you.
Jeanette,
I feel the same way with you, Stephen.
At least as much.
Love fest.
I know. It's so much hard.
Well, yes, there we get the hearts. Yeah, isn't that right? It's I was in the house of Slytherin, so I know all the tricks.
Okay, we're not gonna ask what like me or Leah are because we're not answering that. So
I haven't done it yet, but the kids in the back of the car were talking about the other day, and they were very upset about some of their choices.
Well, awesome. This was really great, and for people who have questions about you personally, JobSync, your LinkedIn URL was down there.
Oh, awesome.
Reach out. I assume that's a good way of doing it.
Always.
Yeah, Jeanette.
Love it.
Pleasure. See you again in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Thanks
so much, Leah. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Cheers.
Take care, everyone.